Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. A delight to be with you as ever. Ooh, just moving the screen a bit there. Good. Now, James Kopp is scarily reliable. Every time I try one of his puzzles lately, it's manageable, entertaining, pretty tricky, quite interesting. Everything I like in Sudokus, and there's normally some Sudoku to do in it. So I'm going to have a go at this puzzle called Ambiguity today. Now this is not quite the same as duality. This is either or rather than and. So I'm going to have a look at that and going to get entertained by it. But that's going to come up in 3 minutes from now, because first of all I'm going to tell you all about the April Foolery Sudoku Hunt on our Patreon channel. You can have a go at that. 9 puzzles, each with a bogus clue in. All different types, so a different bogus little killer, a bogus killer cage, a bogus region sum line, a bogus dot in a crop key, that sort of thing. And the prize, then there's a 10th puzzle, which uses all the bogus lines and clues as real ones. And the prize is an unbelievable cushion sewn by Emily Williams, friend of the channel and seamstress spectacular. It's Sudoku themed cushion cover. We really urge you to give it a try. Well worth winning that, and thanks so much to Emily for creating it, and thank you so much for all the kind comments about the hunt from the people who finished it. Really valued. Now, talking of really valued, some very kind comments on my latest connections video as well. That's on our Patreon site too. Where we also have crosswords and stuff like that. In fact, the monthly tough crossword, the Times Monthly Club special's gone up lately too. So there's really quite a lot on Patreon at the moment. Great time to join in case you haven't. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that. It just helps us with the algorithm and with numbers and with YouTube potentially promoting us to new people who need to find this little corner of the internet. We've also, of course, got all of our apps which feature line Sudoku, and this isn't sandwich Sudoku, but that is one of them. And of course, Fog of War, our latest one. There's our merchandise. You could get yourself one of these fantastic backpacks, Cracking the Cryptic. Or there is SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD. They're all on the links under the video and well worth engaging with. Now, the first link under the video is to this puzzle. I've only just really clocked that there's an excellent pumpkin face or something in the puzzle, or a very calm, eyes closed, smiley face. But the puzzle is by James Kopp, who's excellent. The puzzle's called Ambiguity, and the rules are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Grey lines in the grid are either Renban lines or region sum lines. A Renban line contains a set of consecutive digits, not necessarily in the normal order. So this one could contain 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in some order, or 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. No repeats. Now, if it's a region sum line, then box borders divide the line into segments of equal sums. So that would equal the same as the sum of those 3 and the same as that. So each line is either a region sum line or a Renban line. Different region sum lines, of course, can have different sums. Now, the clues outside the grid, they're not sandwiches, they're X sum clues, where the sum of the first X digits from a direction. They're giving you the sum of the first X digits from that direction, where X is the first digit seen. So here, if we had a 4 there, the first 4 digits would add up to 20. That's how that works. And that's looking from that side. From this side, it might be the first 2 digits adding up to 7. Anyway, those are the rules. Give it a try. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. Well, we can't rely on the lines. This is the thing with puzzles with ambiguous or bogus or dual lines. You can't rely on them. So let's rely on the X sums instead. Now, a 1 X sum clue always means a 1 digit. 42 Yeah, a good way to start with an X sums puzzle is to enter the possibles. 42 is not all 9 cells because they add up to the secret, which is 45, but they always do. 1 to 9 adds up to 45. So 42 is less than that, but it can't be less than 7 cells. The outies, if you like, the digits not in the sum, must add up to 3, and that's either 1 cell or 2 cells. So actually that cell at the bottom is 1, 2 or 3 as a result of the 42 clue. Right, the 18 clue can't be 2 cells, could be 3, could be 4, could normally be 5, but I think can't be in this case. Given that digit, 5 plus 7 would need 1, 2, 3 there, and that would break that. So 5 won't work. That's a 3 or a 4. The 20 clue could be 3 if it was 3, 8, 9. Could be 4, could be 5. Can't be 6, because the minimum sum for 6 digits is 21. The 8 clue is 2 or 3. If it's 3, that's a 3, 1, 4 group. That would definitely be a 5 then. The 38 sum, the outies add up to 7, which are either 1, 2 or 3 digits. So this is 6, 7 or 8. 28, maximum would normally be 7, but that would include a 1 in. So the maximum is 6. The minimum is 4. If you put a 4 there, 7, 8, 9 would get the job done on the total. 7 though, 7 is very constrained. It can't actually be a 3. 4 is clearly too many. They would add up to at least 10. 1 is impossible because it would be a 1. So we're looking at 2 or 3. But 3 doesn't work because 3 digits adding up to 7 are 1, 2, 4. So that's a 2. That's a 5. This is now not 5 here. If that's a 3, this is 3, 8, 9. That must be a 2, and that would be 6. I'm going to start having to look at lines in a moment because I'm running out of stuff to do with X sums. Yeah, I mean, it's unsurprising that we're getting to that point. Now, how could this be a region sum line? Since that can't be a 9, this would have to be a 4. 2 with a 6 there, these would add up to at least 9. So if this is a region sum line, I think it must go 2, 1, 4 to avoid repeats, and that would be a 7. These would be from 7, 8, 9. That 7 would need those 2 digits to add up to 7. It does still stay alive, and you'd get a 7 here on the line. Yeah, I can't quite rule that out as a region sum line. Now, what's the other? A Renban line. Can't quite rule that out either. 2 there. Even if that was a 6, these could... No, this couldn't be a 6. Because that would be higher, and that would make the line get away from 2. There'd be too many digits to fit in between. So for a region sum line, this is going to be 6. That will have to be 4. So whether this is Renban or region sum, that's a 4. If it's region sum, we're going to get 6, 3, 5. So let's just put those in. If it's Renban, it's 2, 1, 4 equals 7. So that can't be 8 anymore, and this is 7 or 5. So I still don't really know the identity, but I get this digit, and on the X sum, that now has to add up to 28. These 3 have to add up to 24. They have to be 7, 8, 9. Everything else in the column is 2, 3, 5, or 6. Now, this line should maybe have been the place we started, considering the line quality. If that is Renban, the other digits on it are 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. I was thinking maybe that will get ruled out quite quickly. I don't see it being ruled out at all, if I'm honest. So that's not necessarily Renban. Oh, this one. Ah, can this be Renban? A 5-cell line that's a Renban line has to have a 5 on it somewhere, because any string of Sudoku digits that involve 5 consecutive digits must pass through 5. The 5 on this line, if it was Renban, would have to be here. These then, since they involve at least 2 from 7, 8, 9, would either be 4, 6, 7, 8 or 6, 7, 8, 9. And I don't know the answer to that either. Okay, let's move across here. Oh, there's a 3, 4 pair in this column. Haven't seen that. Not okay, I'm not sure how to use it, but this cell that I'm in sees all these 5 cells. So if that was a Renban line, then it would be missing either 3 or 4. If it was a Renban line, it would have to either be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Don't know. Let's go back to this. I was going to think about this row. If that's a 3, these have to be an 8, 9 pair. And that's a 2 and that's a 6. But that would make this a 7. These would be 1, 4, 6. Wow, I mean, we'd get a lot of things going on. That would become a 7. Don't quite know how that plays out. What lines haven't I thought about? This one, Renban looks very easy with these digits, but actually region sum line looks quite easy. Could be anywhere between 6 and 9 if it was. These would be the same in that case. Is that interesting? Nah. Okay, if that's an 8, that's a 3. Then that's a 2, and this is a 6. Okay, for this to be a 3, this doesn't work anymore. For this to be a 3, this would have to be a 3, 1, 4 triple, making 8, and that would break this cell. So that's a 2. This is now 6. This is not 2. If that's a 7, this is 1, and this is 2. If it's an 8, this is 3. Okay, region summing. If that was 3 or 4, then we get 9s in both of these cells. If it's a 1, these could be 6 or 7. And they'd both be the same again. I mean, it's not possible for them to both be 7, I think, with... No, it is. This would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I don't know anything. Okay. Sudoku. One of those is a 2. Now, for this to be 3, 8, 9, we'd get a 4 actually very specifically there. If this was 3, 8, 9, that 3 would force this to be a 4. With that being a 4, 4 would be ruled out of these. So 4 would have to be there. But the trouble is, that's absolutely fine both for Renban or even for region sum on this line. So that doesn't really butter any parsnips. Okay, if this was a 4, these 4 cells would add up to 20. Plus those is 27. These other 3 would have to add up to 18. That's not telling me anything either. Oh goodness, I don't know where to go. Right, let's look at the top row. 18, if that was in 3 cells, that would require these 2 to add up to 15. That would break the possibility. If this is a 3, this cannot be a region sum line, because this digit would have to be at least 6. Oh, it can't actually be 6. It would be 7, 8 or 9, and this would be too high to have an equivalent 1 cell total. So if that's a 3, the X sum makes this definitely a Renban line using 5, 6, 7 and 8 on it somewhere. If it's a 4, Does that do anything similar? These three add up to 14. These all add up to 18. I don't know. I don't know. Right, I'm going to have to find another way to attack the puzzle a bit. This line? I haven't really thought about it. If it's region sum, this can't be 2. 3, 5 or 6 would leave these being very low digits. But if it's Renban, I don't know. I still can't put a 9 on them. It's almost quite interesting about where does 9 go in the box, but it's not interesting enough. This is a very simple Sudoku question. Where does 6 go in this row? It's very important though. 6 must go in one of those cells. Therefore this is not 6, that's a 7. And now we know that this is not Renban because 2 and 7 can't be on the same 5-cell Renban line. So it's region sum, that's a 1 and that's a 7. Let's put in the correct line colour, which is blue for a region sum line, now that I actually know one of the lines. Now, this digit can't be 7. One of these two must be 7. 3, 6, 8, 9 also to place in the box. That one can't be 6. Now, suddenly this line cannot be region sum because that digit would have to be higher than that one, and that would make this 9 and that 8, and this would have to be a 1 to make the region sum work, and it can't be. So this is a Renban line now. There's the correct thing for that. I don't think this can be 2 because one of those 2 digits is sorry, they're both from 7, 8, 9. One of them would be at least 8. It's only a 5-cell line. That can't be 2. I haven't got any liquid left there. Bother. I may have to take a break and have a drink so I don't keep coughing. Ooh. Right, the cough turned into a single sneeze, which you didn't want to hear on the video. So I've just established this as a Renban line. And it's got 9 or 8 in it. And therefore, it's got 8, 7 and 6 in it, definitely. And 5 actually. The 5 we worked out before has to be there. The 7 has to be here. 6, 8, 9 or 6, 8, 4 for the other digits. And I don't quite know how they're going to pan out, but this one will see the 6 and the 8. There doesn't have to be a 9 or a 4, but this digit now can't be 5, 6, 7 or 8. Okay, that 7 takes 7 out of here. Okay, but at least we got something going there. Right, now, if those were 3 digits adding up to 20, there'd be 3, 8, 9. This would be 1, 6, 4, and that would definitely be a 3. Making that an 8. 1, 6, 4, 5, 7, 3. That would be 8 or 9. And that would make this a region sum line. And if that was a 3, this couldn't be 8. It would be 9. That would become 4. Oh, it would get quite... I mean, it's very feasible. So if those added up to 20 instead with a 4 at the beginning, 20 there, 14 there, that's 34. These would add up to 11. They couldn't be 4, 7 or 6, 5 or 9, 2. They would be 8, 3. So the 3 is either there or there. Oh. No, that makes that a 1. I can't actually see which way that's going to work. Bother. Right, 3, 8, 9. Okay, if that's a 4, can it be Renban? Maybe that's worth thinking about. There'd have to be a 5 on it in one of the ends. This couldn't be 1, 5 or 6. Goodness me, okay, if this is Renban, I think this cell might be the right one to work on, row 8, column 8. If this is Renban, this line, then it's already got a 2 on it. It can't have 7, 8 or 9 on this line. So if it's Renban, that's a 3 or a 4. If it is region sum line, this has to be 3 or 4 because it can't be 1, and anything else higher is going to explode the box. Or it's going to make that add up to 12 or something or more. So that is 3 or 4, whether this is region sum or Renban. I mean, it's like I'm expecting that to help and it's not doing anything, but never mind. If that was a 4, we worked out that was 8, 3. So that would be 6, and this would be a 1, 9 pair. That would be 7, this would be 5, 8. I mean, you get a lot done either way round. James is being very cunning. So this is 2, 3, 4. If it's region sum, these are 9s. Otherwise, they're from 1, 5, 6. Now this digit can't be 5, which appears there, or 6, which is in one of those cells. So it's 1 or 9, an extreme digit one way or the other. If it's 1, that's a 5. If it's 9, that's a 9. The different sort of line in each case. But that is quite limiting. That is 5 or 9. Now, ooh, if that's a 5, this couldn't be Renban because it couldn't have a 5 on it. At the moment, if it's Renban, the 5 is up here. Is there another way of ruling out that this is Renban at all at this point? I'm not sure. Oh, this is a 7 by Sudoku. I've only just seen that. 5 is down in one of these cells by Sudoku. These are from 1, 8, 9. Now, still, that can be a 3 on the X sum with an 8, 9 pair. If it's a 4, we worked out that was going to be 8, 3. So then this would be 1, 9. So this is either 1, 9 or 8, 9. There's always a 9 in it. That means this isn't 9. It's either 8, 3. Oh, I want to know what all these lines are. Then I can solve the puzzle. That is the whole point, of course. Is that we don't know what they are, so we have to work out how to do the puzzle. And I haven't. Okay, if that was a 1, well now that's going to be difficult from the region sum line end. It obviously couldn't be region sum line. It would have to be Renban. If this was a 1, this line is definitely Renban. Then it's going to need 2, 3, 4, 5 on it. The 5 is going to be in one of those cells. I'm going to do it the other way. I'm going to look at this the other way around. If that's a 1, making this a Renban, that's a 5. And this is now not a Renban because it doesn't have a 5. So it would be region sum line, with that being 8 or 9, and this pair adding up to 8 or 9. But this pair couldn't have 1, 3, 5 or 7 in it, or 9. It could only have even digits, so that would be 8. This would be 6 and 2, I think. I'm right. So if that's a 1, this goes 6, 2, 1 here. 3, 8, 9. Oh no, that would be 4. Right, this doesn't quite work. Okay, it's a bit complicated, but I can see this. So it doesn't work for this to be 1. It would make this line Renban, which would make that a 5. That would make this line region sum, with this being 8 or 9. This pair would have to add up to 8 or 9. We've got a 1 here and a 3 here. And therefore this is 2 even numbers, and that would have to be 8. That would stop this being an 8-3 pair, which is the only way to allow that to be a 4. So this would be 3, 9, 8. This would be 1, 4, 6, but we're already positing a 1 down here. Wow, I mean, that is complicated stuff. But maybe the simpler way of seeing it is if that's a 1, this is a 5. Again, this is now region sum, so that can't be a 1. So the 1 in box 9 would be there, and now this can't be a 3. So that would have to go 4, 1. Maybe that's not an easier way of seeing it. I mean, it will break. It will break here, because these two are going to have to add up to 15. They're going to have to go 4, 1, 9, 6. And 8, 3 there. It's going to break that. I mean, it does break. It's quite complicated to see. There may be an easier way to do the puzzle at this stage, but I've seen that this can't be a 1. And I'm therefore filling it in as a 9. And that makes this one a 9, because it's now a region sum line. And that means, well, let's do Sudoku. That means this is an 8. This is 6 or 4. That can't be 8 on the Renban anymore, so that is 6 or 4. And now this can't be 4, because you'd be left with 11 here, which can't be 4, 7 or 6, 5. So that's definitely 3. And these two are an 8, 9 pair to make the X sum add up to 20. This triple here is a 1, 4, 6, and that makes this a 3. That makes this an 8 X sum at the top of the grid. This pair is 2, 8. Actually, we know the order since we got that 8 at the top of the grid. Can finish row 8. And I mean, it is worth looking quite deeply sometimes, because if you can find your way in, everything gets a bit easier. Let's look at this line now. Region sum still seems possible with 8, 1, 9, and this would be either 6, 3 or 5, 4. How about Renban? 8, 9. No, there'd be nowhere to put a 7 on the line, so it's not Renban. It's region sum again. And therefore this is a 9, and this is a 1, and that's 8. It's such a good puzzle. Really is. This pair does add up to 9 and is either 3, 6 or 4, 5. Actually, there are orders for both available. And one of those is 4 or 6, and so is this. So that's using up the 4 and 6 in the row. That is now 1, 2 or 3 there. 8 is in one of these two cells. Now I'm going to have to take these findings in the bottom half up to the top half soon. Right, that's quite interesting. So if this was a region sum line, the two cells at the ends would have to be the same, and they would have to be 6, 7, 8 or 9. Now, these cells between them, C, 9, 8 and 7. So this would have to be a pair of 6s, and this would be a 1, 2, 3 triple, and that would definitely be 4 at that point. So if this is a region sum line, we've got 1, 2, 3 there, we've got a 4 there, a 6 here. In this X sum, we'll be adding up to 10. That would have to be a 3, 5 pair. It does still work, but it gets a lot of the puzzle done if this is region sum line. Now, if this is Renban, we've worked out that that 3 or 4 sees all of the digits on the Renban, and therefore it can't have a 3 or a 2 or a 1 on the Renban because it would need both of them. So it's either 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I cannot quite say anything about that, surprisingly. I've got a lot done, but I can't quite rule out that either. So there's still work to do here. Now, this became a 7 earlier, and I didn't really follow through on the ramifications of that. That means these two cells add up to 7, and they don't use 5. They're either 1, 6 or 3, 4. That one can't be 1. Now, that's quite interesting here. If this is a 6, this would be a region sum line with another 6 here, but that digit would have to be 2 or 3, and it can't be. So that's not a 6. That is 3 or 4, and this is a Renban line, and that's definitely established. And that's quite surprising, because the Renban line has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 and 3 can't be there, so they're 4 and 5. That's 3. Here we go. This is going to get a lot done. That's 2. 2 is out of those cells. 3 is looking at the corner. That becomes a 4. These 4 add up to 18, plus these, which add up to 12, is 30. These two add up to 15 without an 8. They're 6, 9. No 6 here. That's a 3, 5 pair. This is 4. The other digits in the box are 8 and 7. I mean, we're really rocking now. We're in business. That's a 6, 8. That's a 6, 9. We are sucking diesel now. That's a 4. On the Renban, that's a 6. This is a 3, 9 pair. 3 and 5 can't be in those cells. They're 2 and 6. Now, along here, we've got 2, 5, 7 to put in. Is this going to give us the facts about this other 5-cell line? I mean, if it's Renban, it's definitely 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that would be 5, 7. 9 would be there, and this would be a 6, 8 pair. Now, it cannot be, it is that, because it can't be region sum. The highest this could be is 7, and the lowest this could be is 5, and that would require those to be both 1s. So this is Renban, and we know it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because this cell sees every digit in it. So the 5, 7 are there, that's a 2. The 9 is here, and this is a 6, 8 pair, and I think we'll be largely finishing off. I know I haven't looked at the other 2 lines in rows 2 and 3, but we've got a lot of information now. That's a 1 or a 5. This must be a 2. That fixes 6 and 2. In this row, we got the 4, so that's 3 and 6. What have we got? 1, 2, 5 left to place. And they're a triple. In this column, the 3 has to be there. These are from 1, 5, 7. In this box now, 2, 9, 3, 4. Don't know. Oh, 3 there fixes 5 and 3. Right, now we can look at this line. Is this region sum? That can't be 3. This would be 1 and 4 if it's region sum. If it's Renban, that has to be a 4. So that's always a 4. If it's Renban, this is 6. But if it's region sum, this is 1. Oh, it can't be a 6 or a 3. So it is region sum. Let's colour it up. Now we've solved it. So that makes this a 2. That makes this a 7. That makes this a 1. 7, 6, 5 in that row. This is a 2, 9 pair. In fact, we know the order. 9, 2. This is 6 or 8. So is this can't be Renban clearly anymore, so it's region sum. I would have had to solve it anyway, so whether I can do the rest by Sudoku. I know how that works. That 8 is getting placed in the box. This is a 9, I think, to complete the column. That's 3 and 9 resolved. Now in this box we've got 3, 4, 6, 7 still to go. So I can fill it all in. 6, 7, 3, 4. That looks like a 5. That's a 4. 1 and 7 to place, and then just 1 and 5 to finish off. It's a lovely puzzle, classic James Copp, and Ambiguity's all resolved. What a super puzzle by James, as always. So reliable, scarily reliable, and I wasn't too scared by the pumpkin face, if that's what it was. Thank you for watching us on the channel. As always, it's such a privilege and pleasure to have your company, and hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.